Hi, today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing basically a hands-on review. So this is more of a talk and a review. And I'm here with Art. Hello, Art.
I'm here with Ido. Hey, Ido.
And we're going to talk about the product that we had for, I don't know, a few months now. I think 4, 5, 6 months. I don't know. Since the middle of last year, more or less. This is called the Inkee Gold Crow. That's the bicolor 30 watt version.
Yes, they also have the 60, both bicolor and daylight only, 60 watt.
And this is just a reflector. It comes with the unit. This is flashlight sized or shaped LED light, basically.
It's a COB LED.
Yeah.
It looks like a flashlight, but it works more like a regular COB light that you would use for... It's actually pretty powerful. Even at 30 watts with the reflector, it can give you... in our test, we got up to 9,000 LUTs at 1 meter, so it's quite powerful.
I'm sure that the 60 watt is even more powerful.
Of course, yeah. So it has mounting points on it with RE locating pins.
On all 4 sides, right. And you can connect like more than one to...
Right. Interesting concept. You can use multiple units and then give it more
output, basically. Yeah.
The only thing is when you do that, you don't have a common modifier, but they do both. Each unit has this expanding bracket to hold a Bowen's mount on it, so you can basically put any modifier on.
This thing is supposed, like the small reflector that comes with it. I initially thought that this is going to be a mini Bowen's. It looks like a mini Bowen's, but it's not. It's a little bit wider than a mini Bowen's, at least the ones that we have. So it doesn't fit. It fits this reflector, but this is a full-fledged Bowen's, so you can connect whatever you want into it. The only thing I think is that if you connect 2 of them, like in one next to another, this will hit, they will hit each other. So I'm thinking that maybe Inkee should come up with like an extender or a separator, which will make some distance between both of them.
Well, they actually have it. We don't have it in our kit, but maybe it comes with the 60 watt,
or
maybe it's an optional handle with different mounting points on it. So it's a tilt handle. And you could basically use it as a bracket to put multiple or at least a couple of lights.
It's an interesting concept. Okay, so that's one thing. It has a fan inside, but it's very, very quiet. And I don't think that even after prolonged use, I heard the fan. I mean, it probably kicked in, but I didn't hear it. So I don't know, maybe after really long use, it does get a little bit hot, but this is a 30 watt. The 60 probably gets hotter. The 60 is larger. It's longer, mostly.
Longer, same form factor, but longer handle.
Now, let's talk about what I think is the most controversial, maybe, aspect of... we have some noise in the background. The most controversial aspect of this, and it's in the back. And the controls. And basically, you said controls plural. It's actually control, because there is just one thing that you control, and that's this control ring, whatever you want to call it. And you have a screen. I'll put some B-rolls on the screen to show how this works. But basically, the entire control of this unit is made by different ways of turning this one way or another.
Right.
Now, I'm thinking whether or not to say this, but why not? It took us forever to understand how to fully operate this, and basically until
we had to get some help.
We had to get some help to really understand that in order to get this is a bicolor light.
Yeah.
And I was under the impression that this is a mono light, not a mono, daylight basically a unit, because I had no idea how to change it from 5600 Kelvin to anything else. But apparently, maybe you explain. What do you need to do?
You need to have a lot of patience. No, once you get it, it's pretty easy and it's not very intuitive, but it's easy to use. It's a smart ring, right? So it's not just like it has these hard stops. So when you
initially you first of all to turn it out of like airplane mode, you need to turn it and turn it and turn it and turn it, and then it goes. It's locked by default.
Right,
somehow.
it has a lock feature, so you have to turn multiple times to kind of wake it up. And then once the menu is available or unlocked, then turning from one hard stop to the next will turn it 1%. And then if you do quick turns on the dimmer, so if you do quick turns, it'll do increments of 10%. So basically, you can go from 0 to 100 pretty quickly by turning fast. And then if you want to change from the dimmer mode to the color temperature mode, what you do. Here's a trick. You hold and you turn halfway in between the two hard stops and hold there for 2 seconds. And that'll switch automatically
to the color. This is something I didn't know.
Right.
For a long time
and then
when
you
using
just
this.
go back and forth, but you can't let go. But like if you turn into the color temperature mode, but let go, then it'll default to dimmer again. So you kind of turn and hold. Wait for it to change to color temperature, and then keep adjusting.
And if you turn it to the other side, this is clockwise.
Clockwise, you go to color temperature, and then if you go counterclockwise, you go into the effects mode. I think it's only a few effects, not many. It's like a blinking mode, a fast blinking mode, a flash. I think it's maybe 5.
It doesn't have a lot of effects.
And then the color temperature range is actually pretty good, from 2700 to 6500.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Again, if I knew it before, it would it would have helped. But yeah, look, the way I see it, this whole interface, the ring itself, by the way, the build quality is fantastic. This is very well made. I think we talked about this on LensVid Talk just a while ago. This is basically, I think this is like, it's clearly made in a factory. It's not handmade. We had a different flashlight sort of LED unit where you actually physically replace the LED from, I think, 56 to 32. You didn't have anything in between. You just have 56 and 32. And it worked fine, but it was kind of clunky, and it was clearly made, like handmade by someone. It's not, this is a product. This is a very like well-made product. The only strange decision, again, is this bizarre idea to use this single rotating collar, or whatever you want to call it, ring, to control everything. I would just put like 3-4 buttons and the ring. The ring will change whatever it is that you want to change, either color or effects or intensity, and have an on-off switch, and then switch to change between the modes, color or whatever. I don't know why they chose this. It's obviously less expensive to make, but come on, that's annoying. That's annoying, and again, it took us forever to realize that this is the way it works. But I don't know, maybe that's just us. It's obviously powered through USB, or I don't know, charged through USB. I think it can charge while in use. Let's talk about the battery life. We didn't do a proper test. We will do for the review, and we'll put the results on the screen. It does tell you how long it will last. So, we didn't mention something. It has 100%, but it also has
150% boost mode.
Yeah. I think that's the first time I've ever seen something like that on any like photography related product.
Well, Zhiyun had something similar, but really? They call it boost mode. These guys just go 100%, 110, 120 to all the way to 150.
That's really bizarre. When I first saw it, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure what the boost mode. I mean, there is probably some sort of penalty to being in boost mode.
Well, yeah, according to the internal battery.
No, obviously, but that's true for being between 50 and
No,
100%.
of course. So I don't know. I guess it just drains that much faster.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But 100% at full battery will tell you it's like an hour 10, and 150% is only 45 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm not sure the battery is fully charged.
Well,
So yeah, we'll have this in the full review, and you can see exactly the test. You know how long did it last, and we'll also test temperature wise how much it
how accurate it is.
yeah. No, not in terms of the color. That for sure, we will have all the color testing. In terms of like what we found on 56, because this is what we tested so far, it was, I think, accurate to about between 100 and 200 degrees, more or less, the color temperature. I think the reflector changed the color temperature a little bit, so that's important. Also, we tested with the reflector how even the distribution of the light is, and you do see some hot spotty,
soft hot spot. I mean, it's definitely visible, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not
delineated. So you have a soft hot spot. It's feathered out, and then towards the edges, there's like a fall off as well.
Yeah.
So it's not a uniform light. Of course, we need to see what it looks like with a big Bowens mount.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's another test that we need to do. But yeah, for sure, it's. I mean, but I think that the light quality is good. The one thing that I'm missing on this is, yeah, they have this, but okay, and you can put whatever Bowens that you want. But I think it would be really nice if Inkee would come up with like different modifiers. So it could be like a small softbox, but it can also be, and I think this is probably one of the biggest things that they can do, is a compact projector system.
Yeah.
That would be really cool, because if you have a projector system, this is pretty small. If you look at this is what, I don't know, like a large can of soda, whatever, I know. So if you had something which is about the same size projector, maybe slightly larger, then you can get a really compact thing that can either project gobos or do all the cuts and things that regular projectors with colors that projectors do. I think that iFootage has a fairly small projector. If we get it, maybe we'll test it on this. That can be interesting. But Inkee can do something as well. So that's a pretty cool thing. Again, I think that you mentioned what use cases do you see for this?
It's rugged. It's the form factor is pretty portable. You can just have it in the bag, and it's pretty powerful. So it can be a good like a close up talking head. Definitely, you'd need some diffusion for it, but some kind of a softbox or a muslin or something.
What about the hair light?
A hair light, definitely, but I think it's a little too powerful for a hair light.
Oh, I mean, you can use it at lower intensity, of course.
No, of course, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it is pretty versatile.
Yeah,
you could have it in your bag and not worry about.
I think that the fact that it's a bicolor, again, forgetting the fact that it's a little bit annoying to change, but again, as you said, if you get used to it, it's not a big deal. I think that and Bowens in such a small form factor, that's nice. But the problem, of course, is that the Bowens attachments are pretty big.
Yeah.
So this you can throw in the bag, but Bowens reflector not so much. So I don't know. But
so it's kind of a it wouldn't be a go-to light, but just in case you lose power or something, you need something to
again or a hair light or an additional light or maybe an excellent
product light. I think is great because it's you can mount it on a small tripod, tabletop tripod. You can it won't take a lot of space in your setup for a product shot. I think it's great.
And again, I think that for projection attachment, and especially if you can power it through like a USB-C, like an external battery or wall charger, whatever, if you have a projector and it will work well with the projector, then you can have like a light streak on the wall, and just the only thing is you need to bring is this, like a power brick and, or I don't know, V-mount battery with USB-C, and the small projection attachment, and that's it. That's everything that you need to add like a little bit of like interesting thing on the wall behind you, and you know, you don't need a big light for that. That could be pretty cool. So in terms of pricing, this goes, I think, for around $200. It was a little bit difficult to find. Like, I think on Amazon they have this on sale. I think the 60-watt version is around $100 more or less. Again, it might change depending on where you're buying this, but it's sort of, I think, decent. I think that initially it cost more, but I think now it's more, it came down a little bit. So if you compare it to other lights with battery built in, I think it's kind of okay. Again, you have to remember this is a very unique form factor. You don't have a lot of competition.
Right, they're playing on that. It's the form factor, the
connectability with others, the Bowens mount,
and it's also waterproof. I don't think we mentioned.
Oh yeah, so
it has a number of pluses, that premiums.
Yeah, it's very quiet. Again, the build quality is fantastic. I don't have many bad things to say about it, except from the questionable operating.
You can learn to live with
Yeah,
it,
sure. You know, if you need to use it, especially if it's not something that you use all the time, you know, that's fine. But Inkee,
there's no app for it.
No. But Inkee, if you're listening for the next version, like a Mark II or whatever, add like 3 buttons, like on off, like a physical button, and maybe 2 other buttons just to switch between the call it temperature and the intensity, and keep the ring. The ring itself is fantastic. It's very well made. It's just one ring, and one ring to rule them all. So that's a little bit difficult, but again, you get over it. So that's the Inkee Gold Crow bicolor 30-watt review. So that's everything that we have for you. You can check out the full review with all of the test results and everything on LensVid.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll have more videos for you. Thank you, Art, and we'll see you in the next talk.